mute all your notifications for the next hour because this compilation is sure to hold your attention to the last second. Let's dive in. A leopard was sneaking up on a man who was too busy snuggling with other wild cats to notice, but thankfully, he didn't have to, as a tiger came to his aid.
Hey! Sin garras!
A man was about to attack a child, but he didn't count on a loyal dog having the kid's back. There are some bad people out there, but luckily, we have dogs to protect us. A woman was running with her small dog when all of a sudden a stray dog came running after them. You would think that the small dog would keep on running, but no, he went straight for the stray dog in order to protect his owner.
You get a family pet for the love and companionship. Snake spotting is just a bonus. When this man's van was stolen, his dog stopped the situation going from bad to worse.
El sonido alerta al perro, que busca impedir que sigan golpeando. A pesar del sonido, Tarzán y su amo corren valientemente detrás de los sujetos tratando de...
Nobody sneaks up on my human. Nobody. This guy doesn't strike you as the kind of dog who'd chew up your favorite dress, but if there's a danger of his toddler friend falling into the water, then the dress must die. Something tells me there's no chance of this kid ever being bullied when his dogs are around.
A man was frozen in his tracks when he noticed a snake in the middle of a road, and honestly, who could blame him? Luckily, he's got his loyal friend the Doberman, who took care of the snake for him.
You better come get it, this ball. I can't walk past this snake. I can't walk. Whoa.
Apparently, dogs can stop robberies now. Just look at this one biting the robber's face.
Watch how quickly this good boy turns into an angry boy as soon as he spots a knife. This kid was about to be flattened by a charging cow, but then his dog stepped in and saved the day. When this Chihuahua got attacked by a coyote, his German Shepherd pal was there to say, "Pick on someone your own size." You've heard the phrase fighting like cats and dogs. Well, some cats fight on behalf of their dogs. This server was just doing his job when a robber came in and started threatening him. Surprise, surprise, there was a dog in the coffee shop as well, and he saved the day like the good boy he is. And now, perhaps the most unexpected thing you've seen yet, a dog protecting a lion from a tiger. Well, we had to show one of these, really. When a dog gets too interested in a kitten, this cat decides to start fighting, like cats and dogs.
Meow.
Not all dogs are good boys, but luckily, there's sometimes a good boy there to help. This horse protects this human from a concerned cow as he tries to help her newly born calf. As soon as this dog noticed the man was drowning in the water, he immediately jumped to the rescue. Now, this man has his personal guardian angel. Here's a good example of good dog versus bad dog, as this German Shepherd saves this 6-year-old friend from an attack. For some dogs, their priority is their own appetite, not this guy. During this guy's ocean swimming challenge, he was suddenly accompanied by dolphins, who swam alongside him and protected him from sharks. Rocky the dog has some pretty brutal scars.
But so would you if you'd protected your family from a mountain lion.
Fortunately, her dog Rocky thinks he's huge too. He bolted right after the big cat. But after his tussle with the mountain lion, he had 8 large puncture wounds that required 30 stitches.
Nice haircut.
A male lion got out of control and attacked some humans, but luckily, a lioness interfered and saved the day.
A lodge worker fires a shotgun to scare the grizzlies off.
Why did this guy even have a shotgun when he could have just left his fierce dogs to take care of that bear?
Fearless protection from a bear-busting canine crew.
This man wasn't drowning or anything like that, but it's fascinating to see an elephant coming to his aid. Now that's true compassion right there. We're not sure what the people in this car were planning to do to this woman, but this dog wasn't gonna stand by and let it happen. This brave little dog saved a woman from being mugged and was shot in the paw for his trouble. The new Netflix movie from the makers of Sharknado, Baby Kangaroo versus Giant Bird.
The baby and Kevin are just attacking me and each other at the same time. Why do I even live here?
Back off, Snake. If you want to get to the humans, then you'll have to go through us first. When your human doesn't have the use of his legs, then it's a good opportunity to use all 4 of yours to help him out. This 112-pound Great Dane was quite friendly at first, until he realized that this man was an intruder. This rat weighs less than 5 kilograms, so she's able to successfully sniff out landmines. Now that's a very cute way to save life and limb.
And when she indicates a mine, she gets what she's in it for. With 9 mines to find, that's a lot of bananas to eat.
You've heard of a guard dog? Well, in this house, burglars are deterred by a pet squirrel.
She said while she was questioning the individual, he had scratches on his hand, so she asked him, "So did you get that from the squirrel?" And he says, "Yeah, damn thing kept attacking me. I wouldn't stop until I left."
This cat is keeping a closer eye on this baby than it would on a juicy mouse, but for the opposite reason. This man fell off his wheelchair and his horse immediately came to the rescue. First, it tried to help the man get onto the wheelchair, but then, when he couldn't do that, he just laid on the ground with his back turned to the man. After a bit of a struggle, the man was finally able to get on this kind horse's back. Have you ever seen a more aggressive goose? It keeps on attacking this person despite a dog trying his best to stop the vicious attacks. This robber thought he would have an easy time taking a TV set from this house, but a woman interfered with his plan. He was about to attack her, but then a dog came to the woman's rescue and attacked the man. When you're unable to get out of the house, it's good to have a heroic pet to do the shopping for you.
Doña Graciela, vea, ya llegó con el mandado.
Never mess with a faithful dog's human, even if you're a lot bigger than them. When her owner had a heart attack, Lulu the pot-bellied pig left their trailer by a doggy door and laid down on the road, hoping to stop traffic. Eventually, somebody did stop and came to her human's aid.
Joanne has fully recovered from her ordeal, and Lulu has reaped the rewards of being a hero.
Rottweiler vs. Snake might sound like the title of a bad Netflix movie, but this footage is 100% real life.
God dang!
When this guy decided to have a drunken sleep or fall into unconsciousness, his faithful dog was there to protect him. Luckily, these cows are more scared of dogs than little girls are of cows. We've said it once, we'll say it again. Don't mess with a dog's baby human, even if they're upstairs at the time. These French rescue dogs consistently train for the day they're needed to save lives during an avalanche.
He's trained from an early age with a toy. Nitro spends a few minutes picking up the scent, and once he's on it, it doesn't take long for him to find the volunteer. With the help of Braun, pulls her to safety.
Dobermans are known for their ability to sniff things out, but have you ever heard of one who can sniff out potential organ donors?
I love dogs, so I was quite happy for her to keep coming up to me. She's lovely, she's so friendly, so yeah, I didn't have any food or anything like that. She just seemed to like me. I can't blame her.
A man was about to be attacked by a leopard, but luckily for him, a bunch of dogs made sure the leopard didn't even come close to him. This black bear ended up in people's backyard, but he didn't stay there for long, all thanks to the family dog who chased the bear away. A police officer's navigation was broken and he was desperately trying to find a burning house. But luckily, a German Shepherd named Buddy was just the kind of navigation this officer needed. All he needed to do was to follow the dog, and soon enough, Buddy successfully led him to the burning house. If you've lost your legs, it's good to have a best friend who has 4 of them. There's no better security guard for your unborn baby than this guy.
Can I touch her?
This furry lifeguard knows exactly what to do when he sees a human in distress.
He's trying to save you! He's saving you!
Is this a motorized wheelchair?
Ay, qué bonito!
Nope, it's dog-powered. At first, this might look like a dog catching itself a nice piece of venison, but no, he's actually saving this drowning baby deer.
Come on. Good boy, give.
Not all heroes wear 4 metal shoes. This guy does. It's annoying when your dog disturbs your nap. Well, unless it's because of a snake.
Snake! Oh my god, there's a snake! Oh. Herbie!
These dogs realize one thing above all others. If the kids leave the yard, you follow them. No prizes for guessing who this dog's beloved owner is.
A woman was walking her dog when she suddenly fell to the ground. Turns out she had a seizure, and her faithful dog stopped the traffic to get some help. These dogs are putting their lives on the line in order to prevent a cobra from getting into the house where a baby is asleep. Here you can see a woman fainting and her service dog lying on top of her in order to help her. After a while, the woman was feeling better and ready to get up, but the dog didn't let her do that so fast, knowing that she might be feeling dizzy again.
One dog versus a pack of wolves? No problem for this hairy hero. And now, here's another David and Goliath style face-off. And once more, it's bear versus dog. Well, okay, bear versus dog plus man with stick. Alex the dog may look like a relaxed, chilled out kind of guy, but he's actually a hero after rescuing a boy from the rubble after an earthquake.
Alex, Klarım namn.
This dog and this baby came into the world around the same time and immediately became best friends. So when a fire broke out, there was only ever going to be one priority for this furry hero.
When Latana hurried back inside, she found that Sasha had already made her way into the back bedroom.
The family credits those early warning barks and bangs with saving them.
When this kid went missing from the family farm, his parents were relieved and amazed to find the family dog watching over him as he slept.
Carson was found safe a mile away with Cooper the dog on top of it.
Great dog. I just didn't realize that he would actually be like laying on him and keeping him warm.
This little guy is a diabetes alert dog. It can smell when its owner's blood sugar is too high or too low, and even fetch a sugary snack or drink for her when necessary. Can having a dog this sweet really be good for anyone's diabetes? When this woman's baby started choking, her pet parrot got her attention by shouting mama and baby.
He has not said baby since the incident. He hadn't said it before that. That's what made me know that it was Hannah that was in trouble.
Megan performed the Heimlich, saved Savannah's life, but she says the real hero is actually Willie.
A girl climbed her bed and was just standing there on the edge. She could have fallen and injured herself, but a cat didn't let that happen. Now this one was a test, and boy did these dogs pass it. A man disguised as a robber attacked an old lady, but it wasn't long until the dogs came to the rescue. They were a little hesitant at first, but then one of them jumped on the robber and backed him out of the door. This woman was simulating an epileptic attack to see her dog's reaction, and the dog didn't disappoint. Far from it, actually. He put his body below the woman to make sure she didn't hurt her head. Here's a dog saving a man from a cougar. Or is it just a dog bullying a cougar? Let us know in the comments. As everyone knows, wild boars just hate road hazards. This bird is more of a hero than most humans. He recycles. When this dog thinks his owner is drowning, he wastes no time in diving into the water and swimming so fast he could put Michael Phelps to shame.
Oh, Lord! You did it, buddy!
And I looked at him and I just fell in love with him.
When this 84-year-old man collapsed at home, his only hope was his cat Fluffy. And despite his lack of thumbs, Fluffy somehow managed to fetch his phone.
For 16 hours, from 8 in the morning until midnight, Ron lay trapped in agony on the floor.
So I said, Fluffy, ring-a-ding, you're my only hope. And he was. It wasn't even 5 minutes later, I felt something hit my hand. And I'm here because of it.
You're about to see a burglar who immediately considers a change in career. An old woman found herself lost in the woods and might still be there today if it wasn't for this hair-covered hero.
Margaret lay under that tree for 3 days and 2 frozen nights while the police force, volunteers, and even helicopters with heat-seeking cameras combed the area trying to locate her. Max was called in to see if a dog's nose could succeed where everything else had failed. Where humans had failed, Max's nose cut through the undergrowth and saved Margaret's life.
One more example of why dogs would have made much better lifeguards than the cast of Baywatch. This woman just fell on the ground and a dog immediately called in for some help. This clip isn't about animals saving humans, but we just had to include it. A goat was about to drown, but who should come to the rescue than the brave pig who managed to save the goat and escort it back to safety. This monkey turned out to be an absolute menace, attacking children on the street. But when he tried to attack a boy with a dog, the brave dog stood up to the monkey, which couldn't do anything but walk away. This furry helper provides water to baseball umpires in the middle of the innings. When this 4-year-old was finally found after being lost in the woods, they found that the family dog had never left his side.
I love my shoes!
The problem with having a lifeguard dog, however, is that sometimes they can be too helpful. If any foxes are watching this video, you might want to do a background check on the next chicken coop you try to steal from. Might just be some German Shepherds in the residence. Watch this touching moment as a horse runs into the flames to save its family. Even your average firefighter wouldn't be that brave. When this lady fell in her garden, this clever ball of fur alerted a sanitation worker to come and help her.
Doorbell camera captures Sandy wagging his tail and barking at Glendale sanitation worker Kirk White, who's the other hero in this story.
The way he was barking, like, I have something to show you. Hey, come follow me this way. There's something I want you to see.
Pit bulls have a reputation for being tough, but this unfortunate bear clearly hadn't heard of it.
Whoa, bear! Seeing Bane leap in front of that bear was the most awe-inspiring thing I've ever seen in my life. I am so grateful that Bane was there that day.
They say that cats have 9 lives, and this little guy spent 1 after taking a bullet for his 3-year-old human.
The bullet went in the couch and then hit Opie, who was laying there. You can see the bullet hole where it hit the couch that Sipe was sleeping on. It then flew across the room to a love seat and lodged in a pillow, just inches from her 3-year-old son.
This life-saving dog managed to get the attention of a passing police officer and bring him to his unresponsive owner who'd been sitting out in 3-degree weather.
Gonzalez tried to catch the dog, but the dog kept running away.
In a roundabout way, yeah, he sure did. He pointed me in the right direction.
One would think that a cat would stand no chance against a frickin' bear, but this cat will prove you otherwise. The cat was so fierce that this bear had no other choice but to run away as fast as he could. This foolish burglar thought he could escape these 2 dogs' wrath. Let's just say that he got the fright of his life. Here's another 4-legged lifeguard rushing to save his humans after hearing cries of distress. So it turns out that bears aren't only afraid of dogs. Large dogs can often be the most friendly, unless you try something like this. This man can't even take a bath without his concerned cat thinking he's drowning. It looks like he'll just have to be filthy for the rest of his natural life. When this baby got a bit too close to the water, this faithful family poot put himself between the sand and the sea. If you're a diver and you find yourself being attacked by a hammerhead shark, then it's always worth shouting help to alert any heroic dolphins in the area.
2 other juveniles came in and mobbed the now confused hammerhead. There's no question in my mind that those dolphins intervened to protect me.
After Tony the cat's home went up in flames in the middle of the night, he sprung into action to wake his sleeping owner.
When she finally woke up, she says her home was engulfed in flame. When firefighters found Tony, his stomach and paws were on fire, and he wasn't breathing. They were able to revive him.
When Bob the cat woke up his owners by scratching and biting them, he wasn't the most popular cat in town, until they realized he'd saved them from carbon monoxide poisoning.
So he got up, chased him out of there, and came in and thought, well, if we feed him, he'll settle down.
But instead of going to his dish, Bob went straight to the garage door. That's when the Lindsays discovered that their car was running.
So Bob saved us from carbon monoxide.
How much does this cat love his human? Slap him and find out. This German Shepherd right here decided to give a man in the wheelchair a little push. But don't you think you're going a little too fast now? Well, at least they're enjoying themselves. 2 dogs got stranded in a canoe in the middle of a river, and a black dog immediately jumped to the rescue. After a bit of swimming, he finally reached the canoe, grabbed the rope, and pushed the canoe back to shore, saving his 2 friends in the process. This man was just hitting the baby's crib, but that was enough to alarm a house cat who came to the room and stopped the man. Can this fox take this cat? Nope. Watch as this faithful dog protects its master from these dangerous, cows? When this kid's friends pretend to attack him, his loyal cow comes to the rescue. This is a rare example of when your cat says you're grounded. This elephant thinks her carer is being attacked and trumpets her way over to help. Cats may seem aloof, but when they see dogs attacking humans, they suddenly turn into man's best friend. And some dogs are just as loyal, even when their humans don't have a home. If you struggle with depression, then most doctors usually wouldn't recommend cuddling an alligator. But if it works, it works.
He's not your typical alligator. He's more affectionate. He just comes up and he just lays and cuddles. He'll take naps with me.
This woman was attacked by 2 neighborhood dogs, but saved from them by a 3rd.
The hero himself, this is Jordan. He'll keep the town safe, right, buddy?
This kind-hearted dog wants to help out some fish by pushing the water in their direction. It doesn't make much sense, but it's the good intention that counts. And this dog just prevented a fierce goose attack. We all know just how aggressive these geese can be, so the mother and the child were lucky they had their dog to protect them. A stray dog in Georgia stopped the traffic to allow a group of kids to safely cross the street. Who needs traffic cops, am I right? Another man pretending to drown, and another dog coming to his rescue. Another heroic dog now, being trained for a very specific rescue mission. When this dog's human went into a diabetic coma, he barked and barked and barked, until a neighbor sent a recording to his wife, who came home just in time to save his life.
If their dog didn't alert their neighbor, Chris says he might not even be alive right now.
It's hard to know whose side to be on here. The polar bear protecting her cubs, or the dogs freaked out by a polar bear showing up in their town. This dog saw the danger his little friend was in and decided to retrieve the ball himself in the least dog-like way possible. This Doberman is so good at guarding his tiny human that he should probably be working for the Secret Service. And now here's another protective pit bull, this time saving his owner from an attack on her very own doorstep.
Well, as a man who was covering his face with his shirt punched her in the face, that dog broke out of his cage, and with one look, that man took off.
Remy, the hero bloodhound, works alongside the police to find missing people with only a trace of their scent.
Like with anything, technology could have issues sometimes, so we go back to the tried and true way of give it to the dog.
Proving man's best friend may still work better than modern technology.
We all know that a dog can easily capture your heart, but this dog helped his owner get through a cardiac arrest.
I heard her growl. She does not growl.
She looked at Ken and noticed him making funny faces. Thought at first perhaps man and man's best friend were playing.
This is not play, something is wrong.
Nikki immediately called 911.
If it hadn't been her getting my attention in that moment, it would have been minutes before I realized something had happened.
A baby was about to come dangerously close to the road, but then the baby's personal guardian angel, a family dog, stopped the car. thus preventing what could have easily turned into a tragedy. This cat is better at parenting than most people. And here we have another cat being overly protective towards a kid. Dogs aren't always friendly, however. Watch this Siberian Husky protect his owner from an attack by 2 pit bulls. When this dog's owner was injured, he simply couldn't be apart from him. When this guy got lost on a hiking trail, his faithful pup showed him the way back to civilization. Bear was just looking for a nice warm house to hibernate in for the winter, but this cat wasn't in a sharing mood. Kids spend a lot of their lives being told off by their moms. When this mom tried it, family dog immediately went into protect mode. Never bring a dog to a cat fight. They'll just try to break it up. Watch how this little guy springs into action as soon as he thinks his owner's in trouble. Stuck under a duvet? Just wait for baby's best friend to come to the rescue. The most empathetic dog in the world. He even wants to save moths.
A moth? A moth needs saved? I've taught you well. Let's save it. Come on, boo-boos. Come on, little mothy. Be on your way. Fly, fly, fly.
And now, a standoff between a bear and a small dog. Who do you think will get the upper hand? If you thought the bear, you'd be wrong. It's the dog who starts chasing the bear like there's no tomorrow, and the bear has no choice but to back away. No, this dog isn't trying to eat the fish. He's putting them into the bowl with water. It's scenes like this that really warm your heart. Some people were slowly driving on a flooded road when they spotted a man in a wheelchair. They offered a helping hand, but it turns out this man already had all the help he needed. Yep, the dog's pushing the man's wheelchair. It doesn't get any better than that. This petrel decided to attack an emperor penguin chick, but it wasn't expecting them to have a fully rehearsed defense technique. Never attack another dog's human, especially if they're in the middle of being pet. Believe it or not, you're about to watch a DOG performing CPR. Even though this dog appeared kind of friendly, the family cat wasn't taking any chances. This cow was being a bit too protective of her calf and not allowing humans to help, so this donkey had to step in. What you're seeing, amazingly, is a baby being guarded by 4 cobras. And if you think that's insane, take a look at when he decides to give one of them a hug. This kid has his very own furry lifeguard. This hero cat saved a baby's life who'd been abandoned in a freezing cold hallway.
The boy, who was just a few months old, was rushed straight to hospital in an ambulance, closely followed by Masha. Paramedics have described the cat as a very smart creature, as she was running after them and the baby whilst meowing as he was rescued.
When this guy went into the hospital for a few days with trouble breathing, his faithful dog wouldn't leave his side for the entire time. A man had fallen into a pond, and nearby elephants didn't waste a second trying to save him. They entered the pond pretty quickly and rescued the man in no time. babysitter was just playing with a toddler when suddenly a glass broke. She was trying to pick up the pieces when a family cat came from the other room and started attacking her. The cat thought the child was in danger, and this was how she was protecting it. This dog couldn't stand this child being yelled at, so he came to his aid. Now that's a true friend right there. You definitely don't want to trespass in their garden, even if you are a cougar. And now for something slightly different. A dog saving a puppy from a human.
Wow! The car starts to back up, and here comes this. It's a border collie. Look at rushing out, grabs the chihuahua just in.
When these three dogs ganged up on this cat, they weren't banking on its incredibly tough friend turning up. This poor dog lost the top half of her jaw, but for a heroic reason. She saved two little girls from being hit by a motorcycle.
The Mongol became a national hero in the Philippines after saving two young girls by running in front of a speeding motorcycle, taking the brunt of the impact herself.
Another hero pooch here, who saved his toddler friend from a copperhead snake.
The Lord spoke to me and said, I protected this baby. I put this dog right there to protect your child.
This man fell into a diabetic coma and would never have woken up if it wasn't for his concerned and conscientious dog.
He was just frantically barking at me, just looking right at me, barking.
Colega says he got up and could barely walk and then noticed blood on his shoulders.
The dog had pawed my face to wake me up. How he knew, the difference between me just sleeping and being out of it, sort of from the low blood sugar reaction, I wouldn't know that.
Despite the stereotype, cats can sometimes be just as loyal as dogs. A turtle's worst nightmare is being stuck on its back, and all these other ones know exactly how he feels. When this baby polar bear fell into the water, his mom sprung into action. And you get the feeling he was grounded for at least 2 weeks. Pit bulls don't always have the best reputation, but watch how this one protects its two young owners. If you're gonna attack a Rottweiler when it's on the leash, then you better be prepared for the consequences when it gets off the leash. There's clearly something about cute, fluffy cats that bears just find terrifying. Jebediah has brought more life into his owner's life than she ever could express in words.
He soaked up my tears and grounded me like an anchor as he waited out the storms by my side.
When this guy got his dog from a rescue center, he never would have realized that she would end up saving him.
Brian lives alone.
And my cell phone was over there. I fell straight down.
Pulled him all the way across the room to his phone.
How do you explain this? I can't.
When you have a condition where you can lose consciousness 30 times a day, a well-trained assistance dog is a gift from God.
It's completely changed how I feel about going out. I'm doing things a lot more independently again.
We've all heard the phrase fighting like cats and dogs, but maybe we'd better change it to helping. When this Rottweiler's little friend found himself lost at sea, he immediately sprang into action. This chimp became worried about the white tiger, passed him on to a nearby human, and guided them both to safety. Once again, dogs take on wolves and win. Yeah, you can slap him as much as you want, but don't you dare slap her. For this ex-soldier, his service dog helped him deal with PTSD and live an anxiety-free life.
Together, they traveled, moved to D.C., lobbied hard, and got the PAWS Act passed. It allows the VA to provide service dogs to struggling veterans for free.
This man loves and appreciates his dog so much that he decided to buy a house for him.
塞拉的出现，让我重新改变了所有的生活习惯，而且从我内心里，他们对我没有任何嫌弃，他从来没有嫌弃我。
A home invader got more than he bargained for when he broke into the house of a military veteran, not to mention the cute dog that woke him up.
She put her feet on my chest, pounded her feet 3 or 4 times, and was growling. And I looked and seen a man's frame in my bedroom door. I knew it wasn't my wife. It's great to know that you have that type of companionship.
Time for a cuteness overload, Akimbo fans. This dog has just saved these bunnies from a hawk. Here's another example of dogs and cats not doing what's expected of them. Going for a swim is always good fun, especially if you do it with a friend. This furry hero, Luca, lost her leg protecting her soldier colleagues.
She was trained to search off leash for explosive devices. There was a secondary device that detonated. We can see Luca. She's okay, but she's injured. They just called in a medevac. Luca and one got on the helicopter and were evacuated. We treat these dogs like Marines. That's what you would do for a Marine. That's what I would do for Luca.
You should never mess with a dog's family, even if you're a terrifying snake. When this hummingbird fell out of its nest, it was saved by this dog, and now just won't leave his side. Here's a German Shepherd being trained to save a young girl from danger. When this otter couldn't quite make the jump, there was no question of her family leaving her behind. This man pretended to have been trapped in an avalanche, and his faithful Wolverine Jasper was able to find him.
My rescuer is on his way. Hey, bud. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. Pull me out. Pull me out. There we go. Good boy.
And now a touching true story about how Billy the cat transformed her autistic friend's life.
Was when Fraser went into a meltdown, you'd see his eyes suddenly go and realise that Billy was there, and it'd just break the momentum. If you can keep a child like Fraser calm, then you can reason and rationalise with them, and that's one of the major ways that Billy's helped her.
If it wasn't for his protective pooch, this toddler could have met a terrible watery fate.
She ran out looking everywhere for him and found him in the pool. At first, she says it looked like Stanley was floating, but when she looked closer, she saw that her son wasn't under the water. Bear was holding him up.
The reputation pit bulls have acquired is not always fair. Take this one, for example, who saved some kids from a swarm of bees.
Hades saw me and dragged me up to the grass and then stopped and let me crawl on his back and then took me to mom.
Even in the hospital, doctors were still pulling bees out of their hair. And if it weren't for a little help from Hades.
A couple of these kids could have got really sick or died.
We're not sure who started this goose and dog fight. In fact, we're not even sure who ended it. When you're hanging around the mean streets as a toddler, it's always important to have your own goose bodyguard. If your dog is too faithful, then you probably shouldn't bring it to your jiu-jitsu tournament. A teen had been missing for 4 days before his four-legged genius was able to track him down.
Do you give him something special? Because, I mean, when he found Ricky, everyone's like, oh my God, Putnam's got to get treats for days. But he probably really can't just get anything because he's an athlete, too.
Well, he got steak that night because I had steak.
Wow.
I had some, so he got some.
Once again, a lot of missing children would still be missing if it wasn't for the keen nose of police dogs.
He sniffed the door handle again, he pawed at the door 2-3 times, and he sat back down with his tail wagged.
Moments later, Kinsley was rescued and her father arrested and charged with child abuse.
Another missing boy returned to his loving family by the intelligence and compassion of a pooch.
And I asked me if Honey, who has been tracking deer with her for 3 years, asked me if she would do anything.
After hours of searching, finally came the moment this mother, this community had been praying for. Little Eli found safe in the woods.
And speaking of faithful dogs, look at how these guys refuse to let their human get anywhere near drowning. We've all seen videos of people dropping their phones into the water.
Oh my God!
And that's why there should be more dolphins in the world. Have you ever seen a rescue dog at work? Well, watch the way this hero tracks down trapped people in Brazil. If you have an attentive dog, then your baby has nothing to fear from open doors and windows. This family had always thought their dog was a bit of a scaredy cat, until she suddenly scared off 2 gunmen who entered their yard.
Says 2 men with guns stormed in, demanding money.
I thought it was a prank or something.
But somehow Bella knew it was not a prank. She and their other dog, Shiloh, stormed towards the men. The men opened fire, pointing right at Bella, who just kept barking. The men ran off, leaving bullet casings and holes in their now deflated pool and in their shed, just feet from Jada's swing set.
And here's another dog who frightened off a home intruder after they were unwise enough to attack his pregnant mom.
She grabbed the first thing she could, a flower vase. The vase knocked him back, so she hollered for Rowdy.
He just immediately just went crazy on him, ran him out the door all the way down here where he attacked him in the driveway.
He bit him.
Yes, he completely bit him right on his side, left side.
This blind man was in the Twin Towers on 9/11 and successfully escaped the devastation thanks to his dog.
Together as a team, they made their way to safety.
He ran, I kept telling Roselle, right, and giving her hand signals.
Roselle was honored for her service that day, and Hingston tells their story of survival to help inspire others.
Yes, there's something about dogs which just makes them naturally good at pushing cars. And here's even further proof of our theory. When these girls went missing in the woods, their parents were obviously very worried, but they didn't know that their faithful dog had been watching over them the whole time.
The next day, after 12 long hours, rescuers came across an amazing sight. Remy was fast asleep and the pup was right by her side.
Sometimes the best person to stop a dog attack isn't a person at all, but a dog.
On Wednesday afternoon, she was attacked by a neighbor's dog right outside her home. Neighbor and Ferguson officer Drew Kennedy and his 4-legged partner sprung into action.
He knew exactly what to do. He went straight for that dog and he hit that dog full force, getting that dog to release her arm.
When this lady had a seizure in a supermarket, her dog went out of its way to alert other shoppers.
When I have my pseudo-seizures, I actually don't know when they're coming on. I can't feel it when it's coming on.
Coda stays with Amber as people pass by. The assistant manager stayed with Amber as EMS came to check on her.
When medical staff are at an all-time low, hospitals need to improvise. Dogs' mouths are much stronger than human hands, so we're sure his owner appreciated this. Well, apart from the drool on the handle. Here's an elephant rescuing an antelope from drowning. That's right, those trunks are multi-purpose tools.
Bravo!
As a stranger entered the family home, Sadie the retriever showed her aggressive side and gave the intruder a whole bunch of second thoughts.
A dog that never hurt anybody, never snapped at anybody, knew that there was danger, and she took care of it.
This woman sustained several worrying injuries after a bear attack, but it could have been so much worse if it wasn't for another four-legged hero.
Because who knew what could happen? You know, he was stuck in this corner of the deck, which had no way out. Out of fear, he wouldn't have hurt me, only because of out of fear.
This dog didn't save his own family from a home intruder, but his neighbor. It just goes to show that they truly are man's best friend, but only some men.
The burglar shoved her neighbor to the ground.
Took my dog and I told him, I will release my dog on you if you do not back off of him and leave him alone. He actually put on a really, really good show. He actually proceeded to actually get in his truck. I followed with my dog until he actually got all the way in his truck.
The burglar drove away with the victim's stuff, but Nelson did manage to snap a picture of the license plate and show it to police.
They actually found the truck.
This clip might sound like the description of a Disney movie, but a monkey and a dog team up to rescue a baby chick in danger. After a truck crash left this man and his passenger lying in the open, suffering from hypothermia, his dog, who usually never leaves his side, ran for help.
But in this case, she took off, knowing she needed to find help to save his life.
This woman was woken up by her cat bouncing on her chest, but then realized she was feeling quite weird. When she got to the hospital, she found out she was having a heart attack.
And he woke me up. And he doesn't do that normally because he doesn't like me. He's not normally, he's more my mum's cat.
After Brutus the dog was abandoned, he became a beloved part of the neighborhood, especially when he saved a baby during a seizure.
One night we were just all sleeping and he had hit me in the face and was trying to wake me up.
Jason has a seizure disorder. And Bragg says after that experience, she learned that Brutus senses when one is about to hit.
4 weeks ago, he had another seizure. Brutus went into the bedroom, grabbed him by his shirt collar, pulled him up, and started barking until we got there to him.
This little girl is always safe in her yard, and her 3 furry friends are the reason why. A family being safely evacuated from their home after their amazing dog alerted them to a fire. Pit bulls get a bad reputation, but after finding her owner unconscious, this one woke up his wife, who started performing CPR on her husband and saved his life, along with their faithful pooch, of course.
She found me and I was unresponsive, and at that point she went back into our bedroom and she woke up my wife.
When Buddy the dog's best friend collapsed, he squeezed out of a small gap in the window and alerted his neighbors. In other words, he saved his life.
God gave him brains.
And he saved that man's life.
You saved my life?
He did.
Once again, some dogs don't need a home to protect, just a beloved owner. Another body of water, another child, and another amazing furry lifeguard. Equine has become very popular in this old folks' home, bringing a little joy and light into the days of its residents.
Oh, Pio.
Tudo.
When his owner had a seizure, this clever pup actually managed to dial 911 several times.
McGlade says Major would step on the screen for a few seconds and it was automatically set up to call 911.
I don't think I could operate in everyday world without him right now.
Without Major, McGlade says he would have been in trouble.
Here's a cute little guy in a cap being protected by his even smaller sidekick. Have these clips inspired you to go out and perform heroic acts? Well, start right now by clicking subscribe.